Alrighty, hello and welcome to Chem 400. First day of class, definitely not how we envisioned it or how I envisioned it, but I'll have more to say about that in a little bit. First off, by way of introduction, oops, let's get a new layer going. So my name is Josh. You can totally call me Josh if you're not comfortable doing so. You can also call me Professor Tolo Pilo. This is that's me. Hey Jessica, how's it going? So this is Chem 400. This semester, and again, I'll be talking about this in a little bit, but we're supposed to be the return to the classroom. We're supposed to be in person, and here I am streaming at you. Streaming at you sounds a little like screaming at you, and we'll never do anything remotely resembling that. Hey Megan, how's it going? So anyways, due to the surge of Omicron, the Chancellor's office did an emergency kind of suspension of classes, which is why we're streaming this week and next. The plan is to return to in-person instruction, so we will be in the classroom hopefully starting the third week of class. Hey, Safe. I don't know if or Safe. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce your name. It'll be easier to do once we're all in person. Hopefully, Omicron dips like everyone's expecting it to, and and we'll be all in a room, masked up. So, this is Chem 400. It is the first semester of general chemistry. 401 follows this, and there are the prerequisites for this course is basically there's a math prerequisite for algebra. Alexander, Chad, Mason, shout outs to everybody up in the chat. So the prerequisites are algebra and introductory chemistry course. Hey Kendall, how's it going? Or high school chemistry. Anthony, how's it going? We have a Chad Anthony and we have an Anthony, so we got a couple Anthonys up in here. Zoe, what's up? Okay. Raisha? I'm hoping I did that okay. I apologize, by the way, if I butcher your name. My last name is Tolo Pilo. As you can see, it's written up there, but it's been butchered all my life by professors. So I try not to do that. And I will learn everybody's name eventually by the end of the semester, but at the beginning it's a little rough. Freya, your name is great. It's an awesome song by The Sword named Freya. It'll be our song of the day one of these days. Madeline, how's it going? Robert, good to see you. So anyways, what was I talking about? Prereqs. It's algebra, chemistry. Okay. Now here's the thing. And we should this will be our first thing that we really touch on. Nee, how is it going? Oh, we've emailed. Oh, Raisha, Ray is fine. Okay. I'm gonna do my best to retain that. But okay, I'm glad it wasn't. With my last name I get like Talapalilo, Tilapia is often, I don't know. They start adding vowels that aren't there. Excuse me, cyan or cayenne. I'm not exactly sure whether it's a hard or soft C, but I am glad you're here, and I'm glad you spell eyes with two. So glad you spell high with two eyes. Gabe, it's great to see you, and I would not have got that from your YouTube handle. So thank you for that added help. We have an Annabella and Team Garsky, or Aiden. How's it going? I know, like my handle's aromatic asthmatic. Like that's not going to be helpful for knowing my actual name. Okay, so let's talk prereqs. All right. so there is a chemistry prerequisite for this class. Now, I really sat down and thought about, okay, what are the bare bones things you need to know coming in? And Willow, good to see you. Cool name. What are the bare bones things you need to carry in with you from your prerequisites? And so I'm not, for my Chem 400 class, I don't require any chemistry knowledge. I'm going to be going over all of the chemistry as we move through the class. However, there are things that you're accountable for. Cyan. Okay, excellent. Sorry. Yes. Okay, I'm glad I got it the first time, and it'll stick moving here on out. I want to be upfront with you about what you are accountable for from your prerequisite courses, and so you gotta be comfortable with algebra. Algebra is super important in my experience as an instructor. I've been a chemistry professor for 8 years now, which is weird for me that I'm coming up on a decade because I feel like I just started. But in my experience, the students what students struggle most with in Chem 400 is not the chemistry, it's the math. And so if you are shaky foundationally with algebra, it's going to be a much harder go of it for you. So if I say you need to know algebra and you're a little worried, that concerns you, you know instantly what to review. So start picking up, start doing some algebra review, because it's eating and breathing this semester. We're going to be doing algebra all the time. I'm not going to take class time to review it, so you need to go back and do that. The second thing that you are accountable for from your prerequisite courses is you need to know significant figures. You're expected to remember the rules for significant figures. You're expected to be able to look at a number and determine how many significant digits are in that number, and you're expected to remember how to apply the rules for sig figs when you use multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So the rules for sig figs, using sig figs mathematically, and how to identify the sig figs in a number. I will not be spending time in lecture to review these. However, there are 2 resources available to you. Well, more than 2, but there's 2 that I want to highlight. First, your lab instructor is going to hold a sig fig review. So there will be a sig fig review held in lab during the first week. That's usually the first couple. I said there were 2 things, but I lied. There are 3. Algebra, sig figs, there's one more, unit conversions. As well, but let me hit up sig figs. So the other resource is I have review videos on this channel. If you go to the lecture playlist, there's a Chem 400 lecture playlist, and it starts with there's 2 review lectures. One is significant digits, significant figures, rules for them, how to do them, examples up in there, and there is a review on units and unit conversions. So if these latter 2, unit conversions and significant figures, strike fear in your heart, or if you don't remember them at all, hit up lab. There's going to be a lab review. Your lab instructor is going to go over those, and you can also check up the review lectures on YouTube. And it's me. It's like this, except I'm not live. So you can pause me, you can rewind me, you can do all those fun things. Okay, yes, yeah, totally. So Freya just pointed out that Professor Rose did a significant figure review this morning. she said she's posting it to Canvas. For those of you, there's 2 lab sections. There's a lab section before lecture and a lab section after lecture. So the lab section after lecture, you'll get her significant figure review after this is done. So those are some ways to get at it, to get refreshed. And these are all super important and super relevant to your life because your first exam is due in 6 days. So there is a PreReq exam. Excuse me. So the PreReq exam is, so it, it opens at 1. So right after lecture today, it opens, and it is due. Here we go. On the 25th. A minute before midnight, 11:59. So that's next Tuesday. This is a. You'll take this thing on Canvas because we are not meeting in person. So the PreReq exam is a Canvas quiz. Again, it's opening up right after lecture. And so this exam has 3 things on it: algebra, unit conversions, significant figures. No, Randall. So there's 2 lab sections. There's a morning lab section and then an afternoon lab section. So the morning lab section is already met, and they got their review. You're in the 2:31, the afternoon section, and so you'll get your review this afternoon. So anyways, you take this thing on Canvas. It covers sig figs, algebra, unit conversions. And if you are, the reason why I do this is I want to give you early and immediate feedback on how you are with the prerequisite material. If you're comfortable with all these things, you're going to take it. It's not going to be a problem. If you're rusty, it's going to instantly tell you, and so you'll be able to address those issues. I used to not do this, and what would happen inevitably is the students who struggle algebraically or struggle with unit conversions, struggle with sig figs, it would all hit the fan on exam 1, but by then we were like a month into the class, and there was all this other stuff compounding. They never got that foundation shored up. So this PreReq exam is here to tell you what you need to go over, what you need to study, so that you can move through the rest of the semester in strength and handling things as they come. All right. So course materials. So you should hit up the syllabus. It's got all this information in it. Course materials, computer device capable of accessing Canvas, YouTube as we're here right now, and you need a scientific calculator. You'll notice. Oh yeah, Randall. No worries, dude. You'll notice that the textbook is under the suggested material. It's the reason why I put it there is so you've got to have a syllabus, a textbook in your syllabus. The TRO one is excellent. The problems at the back of this book are so good at preparing you for the exams. It's an amazing study resource. I assigned problems out of the 3rd edition. It's an old one. It's a cheap one. You can use any edition you want. The homework for this class is assigned but not graded, so you'll never be turning it in. So you don't have to get the specific edition that I have. If you get a different edition, the problems may be slightly different, but they may not be all that different because they don't really change that much edition to edition. Let's see, Freya. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. So there's another thing under the suggested material. It's the ACS General Chemistry Exams Official Guide. If we are meeting in person, Our final exam will be the ACS standardized exam, which is a multiple choice exam. But if we're meeting in person, my lecture exams are written. They're free response questions, and so, anyways, that's a good resource. The ACS General Exams Guide is a good resource for exposing you to the problem types you would see on the final, assuming we're in person. If we're not in person, then things will have to change, but we're going to cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's talk about, actually, let's talk about the syllabus quiz. This is something that if you have not already done it, you should do ASAP. At the end of, so you can find the syllabus. You can find the syllabus under course resources, the course resources module. On Canvas. And at the end of the syllabus, there's a quiz that's very short. There's just a few questions. You fill it out and submit a PDF to Canvas. All right, that is the syllabus quiz. It's worth 10 points. You can start the semester with an A. It's almost free, but here's the other reason why you want to do it. So the syllabus quiz is due Friday. Oh, I see a typo in the syllabus. It says it's due on 1/21/21. It's not due last year. Don't worry, it's due this year. At 11:59. If you do not submit it, a quiz, or if you are late, you'll get dropped. And your spot will be given to a waitlisted student. This is due Friday. If you submit it at 12, 1 minute after, you'll get dropped. If you click submit at 11:59, but it doesn't register till 12, you'll also get dropped. So do this early. It's really easy. Go download the syllabus, fill out the quiz. If there are missing numbers, that is, you don't need to worry about missing numbers. That is most likely because I misnumbered it. Let's see. Yeah. Totally. Okay, so go do that, submit it if you want to stay in the class. If not, you're going to get dropped. All right, let's talk about time requirement. So we have about 3 hours of lecture a week and 6 hours of lab. So that is 9 hours of class time. Each week. Now, the rule of thumb for college courses is for every 1 hour of class, 1 hour of class equals about 2 to 3 hours of study. So that means that this course, by those rubrics, would demand 18 to 27 hours of study per week. All right, now, numbers that big might look hyperbolic. You're like, that's a part-time job. But the reality is that this course, for many students, is a part-time job. This is listen. I don't have like some weird power trip. You know how some instructors are like, my class is so hard. You're gonna have such a hard time in my class because I'm that, gnarly or whatever. Like I don't have that thing. But I've been doing this 8 years. I've been teaching this class 8 years, and many students struggle with it. Everybody will need to allocate a different amount of time to ingest and absorb the material in this course. And so you have to figure out how much time you require to learn it. What I can say is this average is fairly accurate. And so if your schedule, if your life circumstance can't accommodate this chunk of time, you may want to consider taking it a different semester when you have different life circumstances. Just because it's a heavy load. It's a lot of work. For some, for others, it's not. It's again, everybody's different. I'm trying to give a general aggregate of my experience, but any one person may find they need less or more time. Some students need a lot more. So that's the general time thing. There's a couple things I want to touch on here. This class rewards just the nature of the material, rewards smaller study times spread out over more days than larger study times once a week. You will absorb the material and retain the material better if, for example, like the week before an exam, 7 days before the exam, you could spend 7 hours cramming the day before the exam. That 7 hours will be more effective for you if for the week before you spent 1 hour a day in the material. It's going to be far more effective taking smaller times spread out over more days than the same amount of time all crammed into 1 day. This is a difficult class to cram for, and so I highly recommend pacing yourself. The second thing that I want to touch on, and this is not necessarily time per se, but this is just effectiveness in how you spend your time studying, is you want to focus on active learning. All right. What you're doing right now, you're in lecture, right? I'm talking to you. This is passive learning. I'm the one who's acting. I'm the actor, you're the recipient. You want to focus your time in this class on active learning. I've had students come and tell me, I don't understand why I failed. I've watched all of your lectures 3 times over. Or I don't know why I did so poorly on the test. I did the problems you did in lecture 5 times over each. The thing is, when you sit down to take a test, I'm not testing on your ability to listen to me talk. I'm also not testing your ability to do problems that you've seen me do. I'm testing your ability to work problems that you've never seen before. All right? That's the challenge of my exams. And so if you're going to prepare for that, you need to spend your time doing problems that you've never seen before. That's actively engaging with the material. And so that's what you want to focus the bulk of your study time on, doing new problems, because that is the thing you will be tested on. All right, let's see. Okay. um, so, our first few, let's talk about lecture for a little bit. So right now, lecture, as you know, is online. We're here on YouTube. This is where I'll be hosting all of our digital class times. So you found it, you know where it is. You can come at me. Get at me here. So this is lecture for as long as classes are suspended, but eventually they'll be back in person. Okay, and I will not be streaming from the classroom because if I've learned one thing over the course of the past 2 years is that we lose something vital when we're not all in the same room together. Empathy definitely goes out the window, but also the interaction is different. It's not that this is bad, but it's not as good as it could be. And so I will not be live streaming our lectures from our classroom. So you will want to show up. That being said, if you get COVID, if you hit that Omicron variant, you'll need to stay home because you don't want to contaminate everybody else in class and spread the disease. And so here's the deal: is I have a semester's worth of lectures already here on YouTube under the playlist. Chem 400. Let's see, where did I? It's like, where did I write that down? There we go. Chem 400 lecture. So if you have to miss class because of COVID, you can still stay on pace with the lecture content because you can go, you know what we talked about last time, you know what chapter we're in, the lecture schedules in the syllabus, and you can find the corresponding lecture on this playlist. Now, this playlist was recorded during the fall of 2020. So obviously things that I say about assignments, about dates, about things changing don't apply, but the chemistry, the content is all relevant and all applies. So if you have to stay back because you're quarantining because of COVID, you can still stay on pace with us in the class. You don't have to worry about falling behind. So that's a resource there for you. You can also use this. You don't have to only use this for COVID. You can also use this to study ahead, for example. I personally, I really hated reading ahead when I was a student because I just learned better when the instructor was talking, and like I learned better absorbing it kind of with that auditory feed. You can use this for that. So you can even watch ahead in lecture. Use this playlist to go, okay, what are we going to be talking about next week? Kind of like listen to it, skim through it, familiarize yourself to it so that you'll get a second repetition when we're in class. For example, if that's effective for you, you can use in that capacity. Now let's talk about if you have to miss an exam. Missing an exam. Because let's say you contract COVID and you are quarantining and it's the day an exam is happening. Here's the policy. So there we go. So one missed exam score will be substituted with the average score from all other exams, including the final. All right, so that's the policy. And this is there to protect you because if you get COVID and you're having to quarantine and you have to miss an exam, one missed exam score, you're not going to take a 0. What I will do at the end of the semester is take the average of your scores on all your other exams, so the final, the other lecture exams, including the PreReq exam, and average that and put that in as your score for your missed exam. You don't have to provide proof of, you don't have to provide a positive COVID test. You don't need a note from a doctor. It's none of that. It's just this will happen to you if you miss an exam. Now, this will happen to you if you miss an exam for any reason. And I'm telling you this because I want to be upfront. I want to be honest, but I'm also telling you as a warning so that you don't abuse it. Because let's say you're not prepared for a test, not prepared as you'd like to be, and so you miss it. Because you're like, well, one missed exam score will be substituted by the average of all the other scores. So I'm not that prepared for this one, so I'm just going to do that. Let's say later you get COVID and you're quarantined and you can't come take a test. This only happens once. So if you miss a second exam, you will get a 0 on that second exam, and then that 0 will be used to calculate the average that stands in for your first missed exam. So like, don't play with fire. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. You really want to save this for when you need it. Don't spend it prematurely because this only happens once, and it doesn't. It's there's no questions asked. You don't have to give any reasons. But if you're quarantined and you have to miss for COVID, but you've already used this, you're out of luck. So please don't put yourself in that position. Is what I'm begging you because there's no flexibility in this policy. All right, let's talk for a second about class behavior. Dyslexia makes life fun. I'm dyslexic, if you were wondering. You know now, first day of class. Let's talk about class behavior. So class behavior comes down to 2 things. Be kind wear a mask. If everybody does both of these, we're going to have an awesome semester. Let's talk about the first one. Be kind. So you just got to be considerate and kind for the people around you in your interactions, both in person or over email or whatever. Don't let stress introduce unkindness to the way you communicate with me or with each other. This also involves we're going to have to adjust in being back in the same room. Like we're here digitally, or you're in a Zoom class or whatever, you can mute your microphone, you can be talking to other people, all sorts of stuff can be going on at the same time. That can't happen in the classroom setting. So if you are engaging in disruptive behavior, which includes just talking out loud, when you're not asking a question or engaging with the course, if you're talking to someone next to you, you totally can talk to that person, just do it outside the classroom. Like, take your conversation outside, finish it, come back in, but the people in the room are trying to learn. So if you engage in disruptive behavior, I will ask you to leave. Don't make me kick you out of the class, but I will because it's a learning environment. Now, the second one, wear a mask. If you do not have if you're not wearing a mask, or if you're wearing a mask improperly, so it's like got to be covering your nose, then you can't be in the classroom. This isn't my policy. This is the campus's policy. Like I said, it's not my policy, but I will enforce it. I recommend keeping an extra mask, maybe in your car or your backpack or whatever, somewhere. If you forget your mask and you're like, I forgot my mask. Can I please stay in lecture? You can't. I don't know if there may be a resource on campus where they'll give you one, or maybe someone will have an extra one, or I don't know. That might be kind of gross as well. But if you don't have one, you can't be in the room. But again, worst case scenario, if you forget your mask, don't forget. I have that bank, that playlist of lectures. So you may not be able to sit in our lecture, but you can go, dial up YouTube, watch the lecture that corresponds to what we're talking about that day, and you'll be able to stay on pace. So that resource again can cover you if you forget. If you're not wearing your mask or you're wearing it improperly, I'll be forced to ask you to leave. You'll have to leave the classroom. So I don't have a say on this one, but I have to enforce it. So let's not go down the road where you see if I really will, because I really will, and it'll just waste everybody's time. Okay. Whoa. Did not mean to do that. So that is classroom behavior, etiquette. Let's talk about communication. I will be launching, I'm still building it out, but I'll be launching a Discord server for our class to help us connect, communicate, study. And I'll be up on there occasionally, but okay, awesome. Randall with the hookup. The Welcome Center had masks last semester. They may or may not have them this year, but that'd be a good place to check. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of resource like that on campus. So yeah, I'm not quite done building out our Discord. Keep an eye on Canvas. I'll be posting about that with an invite link soon. But the one thing you need to know is if you need to get a hold of me, Discord is not the way to go. I manage, I'm the admin on a lot of servers across at least three different colleges at this point in time with active servers. Anyways, so I don't even look at my DMs on Discord because there's just too many. I just keep it to the servers. I interact. I pop in and out. But if you need to get a hold of me, if you need to get a hold of me, email or Canvas guarantees a response. So you will get a response from me if you hit me up through email or on Canvas. The speed of that response will usually be within 24 to 48 hours. Depending upon the time of the semester, the depth of my inbox, how many messages I have up in there, will determine how quick my turnaround is, but usually 24 to 48 hours. I actually, if you email me, over the next few days, you won't hear back from me because I'm going to be camping. I have a 3-year-old kid, and I'm going to be taking him camping. And so I'm going to be, I don't know what my reception is going to be. So if you email me, I'm leaving tomorrow morning. So, between this afternoon, I don't know if I'll get back to my emails. I cleared my inbox this morning, but if you email me, you will 100% get a response back on Monday, but I'm going to be kind of in the wilderness for a little bit. So that's atypical, but I want to let you know up front. Usual response time, 24 to 48. All right. Let's talk. Okay, we did the syllabus quiz. So let's talk about grades. So your grade in this course is based on your performance both in lecture and in lab. Lecture is worth 70% of your grade. Lab is worth 30% of your grade. So lecture is worth more, so you should just know. So there's usually someone every semester who comes to me and says, I don't understand. I'm getting a B in lab, but I am getting a D in lecture. why don't I have a C in the course? And it's because it's not a 50-50 split. I'm not taking an average. It's a weighted average. Lectures are worth more. Lectures were 70%. Lab is worth 30. So you should be aware of that. Professor Rose is handling both of the labs for our class, so she will be doing all of your lab grading. Any questions you have about that situation is 100% her domain. So like, don't come to me saying like I think her grading is wrong or unfair, because I totally fully support the decision she chooses to make. So that's between you and her. But don't come to me looking for an override. It's not like you go to one parent to try to pit them against the other one. It's like that's not going to happen. But you can come to me and talk about anything with respect to your lecture grade. So this class is, the lecture portion of this class is 100% based on exams. Well, almost. So there's the syllabus quiz. Which is worth 10 points. There is the PreReq exam, which is worth 100 points. The lecture exams, and that's plural because there are 3 of them, are each worth 120. And the final exam is worth 110 points. I should say 120 points each are the lecture exams. So that's the points breakdown. This will determine your lecture average. You'll notice that there is no homework, and that is to say there's no graded homework. But there are homework problems assigned. And the practice homework in the book, you can find the problems that are assigned under course resources, the Canvas module. Are excellent preparation for the exam. One of the things I appreciate about the TRO textbook is their practice problems are very hard, and my exam problems tend to be very hard. And so, anyways, this is college. You're adults. I don't believe in busy work. I don't believe in like hand holding. It's like you guys are. Yeah, there's no quizzes. Ray, totally no quizzes. It's. I believe you're adults and you are self-motivated and you're here to learn. You're here to study. So I'm not going to try to force you to do that. That being said, whether or not you do your homework will be reflected on the exams. If you're doing the practice homework, if you're getting into the material, you're going to do well on the test. If you don't do the homework because it's not like, because there aren't any points associated with it, then that also will reflect on the test. So it's all really riding on those. So yeah, that's the point structure of this course. All right. A couple things I want to mention. The first is that FLC Tutoring is 2 things. It is awesome, and it is free. So if you have never hit up the tutoring center for help, I highly recommend you do so. They are staffed by students who have performed well in this course, and they can share their wonderful secrets of knowledge with you. So totally hit them up. They're well trained. They're good at solving problems. They can definitely help you out if you're struggling. And it's cheaper than any other tutor you can hire. If you qualify for DSPS, then get me your accommodation letter as fast as possible. Wait to take the PreReq exam till you get me your accommodation letter so that I can program the time in to make sure that you have enough time to take the time that you're owed. Okay, let's see. A couple questions up in the chat. Okay, Kendall, that is a great question. Okay, hang on. Okay. So a couple questions. Frey, I'm gonna take yours first. So, So every week, Monday and Wednesday, lecture will always be 11:30 to 12:50. This is AM. Lecture will always be 11:30 to 12:50 every week. And then there are two lab periods. One lab meets in the morning. I don't know the exact times. And one lab meets in the afternoon. But the times of those will always be the same. So you'll have your morning lab. So if you're in the morning lab, you'll have your morning lab. Then you pop into lecture. If you're in the afternoon lab, you go to lecture first, and then you pop in to your afternoon lab afterwards. Okay. Awesome. Okay, Kendall, let me see. So if you do not have the book yet, is there a way to do practice problems for the PreReq exam? There absolutely is. So here's the deal. So you have possibly the greatest resource that any human has ever had for finding material to study. So if you want to, okay, cool. So if you're like, how do we find practice problems for the PreReq exam? First off, this applies to any subject in this course. Google Chem, whatever the subject name is. Worksheet. PDF. If you do this for any subject in this course, the internet is going to spill out more practice problems than you'll be able to do from colleges all over the U.S. It's amazing, and it's like unlimited. So if you need sig fig practice, Google general chemistry, significant figures, worksheet, PDF. and boom, it's there. It's instant. So that's one thing you can do it for any subject in this course. The second place that I would direct you, if you're looking for material to review to like help you kind of get in the mode, you don't have the textbook yet, hit up Lab Exercise 1. So this is an assignment in the lab syllabus from Professor Rose, but Lab Exercise 1 is all about sig figs, unit conversions, and algebra. So if you're looking for things to help you practice and study for the PreReq exam, and you want to work on an assignment that is going to be turned in and graded as well, hit up Lab Exercise 1. It's a great way to go if you're looking for review, and also this is a thing you got to turn in and you can earn points on. So that's a good way to kill a couple birds with one stone. All right. So we are almost done here. So I gotta mention, of course, academic honesty. Cheating is not tolerated. Any offense will result in a 0 on that assignment or exam and may result in F in the class. All academic honesty will be reported to the dean. Probation, suspension, expulsion may result. Something you should know is data forgery is academic dishonesty. You'll receive an F on your first occurrence in the class. So just know, dealing with academic dishonesty, I can say, is the worst part of being an instructor. It's even worse than grading. So please don't make me enforce any of this business, and we will have a good time this semester. All right. The last thing that I want to touch on here is I kind of have kind of give off for lack of a better term the turtle from Finding Nemo energy. I'm a pretty laid back guy, and oh, sorry, hang on. There's a question in the chat. Okay, Alexander asked a pretty insightful question. It says, waiting for the 3rd edition textbook to come in. Will the lab exercises resources be our best resource that most closely references the textbook until we get the textbook? I would say that oops. I would say yes, especially early in the class. I mean, when you look at what we're going to be dealing with, exercise 1 is like significant figures, units, algebra. Exercise 2 is like nomenclature, right? Like naming stuff. So those exercises really do kind of support and correlate to the types of problems you'd be doing anyway at the back of the book. So that is definitely the first place I would turn. And also you have to do them because there's points. And then, you'll get your textbook, and then you'll have access to both. So yeah, I would definitely look there as a resource. If you want to expand beyond what their those exercises have to offer, you can always again use the technique that's up on the whiteboard right now. Yeah, totally. Anytime, dude. Great question. Okay, so I want to give a warning. I kind of come off as the turtle of Finding Nemo. I come off as kind of laid back or easygoing, and all those things are totally true. But I've been told by former students that they told me it's like, well, I rolled in the first day of class. Let's see, lab exercise 1. dude, I'm in the middle of class. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is, so I don't have any Tuesday classes, so this is my first day of streaming. So the kids aren't exactly used to me being kind of in the office and working, because I haven't for since second week of December. So anyways, apologize for that. So I've had former students tell me that they rolled in the first day of class, and I'm here and I'm saying dude and totally, and they're thinking Turtle from Finding Nemo, and then I had this student tell me that he took my first exam and felt like I sucker punched him in the gut. And so I just want to let you, this is what students have told me, that my exams are on the challenging side. And so just because I'm kind of chill and laid back, don't think that the class is chill. Again, like I'm not on some power trip. I don't need, like, I'm not out to like make this the worst class you've ever taken. But my exams tend to be on the hard side. It is a challenging class. It is a rigorous course. And so I just don't want you to be surprised or to think that, oh, because I'm chill, this class won't take any work. It definitely will. Don't underestimate it. I'm here as a resource. I'm cheering for you. And I want you to win. But I also write some challenging tests. So just know that going in, and we'll have a good semester. It's a little early. It's 12:30. Class goes till 12:50. You know what? We're gonna do. Let's see. No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to till Monday to start actually doing chemistry lecture. So I'm gonna call it here for lecture today. If you have any questions, totally hit me up. I'll totally answer them. But if not, we'll close down the stream, and we'll get at things. We'll get at things on Monday. We'll dive into chapter 2 with some actual chemistry. So today will just be about the course and syllabus. Yeah. So yeah, hit me up if you have any questions. If not, we'll close things down. And thank you all for coming. It's going to be a good semester. I'm looking forward, hopefully, to getting back into the classroom for the first time in 2 years. All right, I will catch you all on Monday.